Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears up to some of the travails and tribulations that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. And this particular video and story is a cautionary tale of how an individual can be filled with titles, an outward appearance of being an upstanding citizen in society, a powerful position in companies and society, but their outward appearance and their inward soul are not aligning. And so just because you see something, and remember the old mantra, everything that glitters is not gold. And what in the world is happening in the state of Florida? For those who follow me, I just recently, a few days ago, did a particular story on a Miami-Dade public school child psychologist that was 62 years old, a Mr. Robert Lee Turner, who got charged with 5 counts of possession of child P, and where he was downloading and uploading videos of child P to different platforms. And there was a cyber tip that took place that got him caught. 62 years old. He was a child psychologist for the Miami-Dade public schools. And look at the dichotomy and hypocrisy in that. He's there to be a helper and healer of children and to be a mentor and guide these kids in the right direction. Mind you, in his inward appearance, he was secretly uploading and downloading images and videos that were grossly inappropriate. And luckily he got caught. But what is going on in Florida? Because I got another case of a pastor, a well-known pastor out of Palmetto, Florida. You got to hear this one. And this was another cryptocurrency and cyber tip that got him caught recently. This story is filled with dichotomies and hypocrisy. And this is just to enlighten my viewers on, hey, can't always judge a book by its cover, whether you have a title, a law degree, a PhD, a famous actor, football player, whatever. You have to see what their true character is all about. So let's go. More than a dozen new essay charges have been filed against former Palmetto pastor. Investigators say a tip from a cryptocurrency company led to the arrest of former Palmetto pastor Jonathan Elwing on child P charges. A former Palmetto pastor who was arrested for child P possession is facing over a dozen new charges, according to authorities. Jonathan Edward Elwing, 43, the senior pastor at Palmview First Baptist Church in Palmetto, was originally arrested on Friday, June 21st, on 4 counts of possession of child P. However, more recently, the Manatee County authorities announced Mr. Elwing now faces 14 more charges, including 2 counts of capital essay battery, 6 counts of production of child essay abuse material, and 6 counts of possession of child essay abuse material, which is commonly called child P. Investigators say a forensic search of the former pastor's phone showed images of him essaying a child, as well as the production and possession of 12 images of child P. This is a monster. This is a man who went to great lengths to hide his true identity, to use whatever resources he could to feed this deviant behavior that he has, says Manatee County Sheriff Rick Wells. Investigators say a forensic search of the former pastor's phone showed images of him essaying a child, as well as the production and possession of 12 images of child P. This is in addition to the 4 sexually explicit images of children authorities found in his possession last week. Detectives are still examining his cell phone, and they say they expect to find more illegal material on his computer. We are just going to continue to be very methodical on this investigation and download all this information. It takes time, Sheriff Wells said. Elwing resigned from his role as senior pastor before he was arrested. Larry Bianchi, a deacon of the church, said Elwing was hired a few years ago and was one of 250 applicants that applied for the senior pastor position. He said, "We started doing background checks and everything you could do possibly to make sure this person was the correct person." Bianchi said the congregation is leaning on each other and their faith. He, for all intents and purposes, appeared to be the guy. 3.5 years down the road, it's obvious now he's not the guy, Bianchi said. As the investigation continues, Sheriff Wells believes that there are additional victims and calls for this man who was a monster in hiding. We know that he would abuse anyone at any time. There doesn't seem to be a limit of what he was capable of, Sheriff Wells said. What is going on in Florida? You got a child psychologist that recently got caught by a cyber tip, and then now you have this senior pastor of a nice-sized church that got caught on the cyber web using cyber from a cyber currency company. Technology has its advantages, and in this storyline, it has both the advantages and disadvantages. So where does that come in at? The disadvantage is this internet, cyberspace. It gives you any information, whether it's positive or negative, by the push of a button. What authorities and society should learn from this, if we need to have blockades to where these images, videos cannot be easily accessible and disseminated throughout the public. I mean, your child, your grandchild, your niece, nephew, through gossip or peculiarness, they could stumble across this stuff. I mean, how easy is it to get these kinds of demonic and heinous types of videos and materials? But on the good side of it is that we have thousands of authorities that are watching and monitoring people's access to their computers, what they're downloading, what they're looking up, and we have our cyber police. Thank God, because here are 2 situations right out of Florida, one in Miami-Dade County and one in Palmetto, Florida, where these 2 so-called professionals, remember, senior pastor of a church and a child psychologist, both of these people are in leadership, mentorship positions, many of them married with children of their own. Look at the hypocrisy in that. And great titles. People are coming to them for advice, whether it's the child psychologist at the school or this senior pastor. He is giving advice, marital advice, family advice, lifestyle advice, all outward appearances that he is the image and he is the person representing the church and the community on the outside, while he and living under God's light, while on the inside, which is the side of his darkness, he was actually worshiping the devil, in my opinion, if any of these allegations are correct. Here again, this is a cautionary tale and a video and storyline of enlightenment, that just because somebody is a music executive, look at what Puffy is going through, Puffy Combs, and the allegations. Are you a great singer like R. Kelly? Look at what he went through. Are you a movie producer like Harvey Weinstein? or you are a political businessman like Jeffrey Epstein, or even Dr. Bill Cosby, who was a noted comedian, TV executive, produced several movies and several television shows. We all know The Cosby Show, which was a family-oriented show. And then his allegations come out that he's spiking drinks and allegedly R-ing or assaulting women that are unconscious. Sean Puffy Combs is being alleged of the same things. We're talking about human trafficking. We're talking about sex trafficking. For all my viewers, judge a person's character, what's on the inside of them, their spirituality, the positivity that they should exude, versus what you see on the outside. Anyone can put an outer appearance and make themselves look glossy and great, mind you, while the inside of them could be rusting away in horror. Tell me what you think. I don't know what's going on in Florida. Oh, the other thing, we're seeing plenty of teachers. There's been a high uptick in female teachers in their 20s and 30s that have been getting caught in inappropriate misconduct with preteen and teenage boys. There again, they're in leadership positions, mentor positions. They take on the form of a parent. They take on the form of a social worker. Mind you, they still have to teach and provide guidance to their students. But you have some teachers that are crossing the line and engaging in relationships that are criminal and will have tons of negative effects on these kids as they growing up. This pastor had allegedly engaged in heinous misappropriate behavior with underage kids, and luckily he got caught. This was a senior pastor of a church in Palmetto, Florida. I don't know what to say about it. We need to get these people off the streets. Technology has its advantages and its disadvantages. As I said earlier, the disadvantages, this technology and these phones and computers and the push of a button has replaced us as parents and as leaders. Kids and adults can get any information disseminated to them in a push of a button and in 1 second. On the positive side, we do have people that are policing your behavior on your cell phone and on your computer, the eye in the sky, the cyber police. And just as people are physically committing crimes on the streets of our cities and our states, physically, we also have people that are behind the dark web committing just the same, if not more egregious crimes, especially against children. And thankfully, our cyber police and our cyber detectives caught this Palmetto pastor engaging in the most diabolical, demonic kinds of activities you could ever think of. We all have children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, and we want them to be safe. Our children are our future. Tell me what you think. This has been the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth in a positive, righteous, and God-fearing way.